Good evening, everyone at home. Welcome to the Kennebunkport Growth Planning Committee for November 12th, 2019. Before we get started, I'd like to have an introduction of our members of our committee. I'm Jim Fitzgerald. I'm the vice chair of the committee.
Barbara Barwas.
Paul Hogan.
Janet Powell.
And our guests tonight are from our comp plan consultants, Tom Morgan and Liz Fitzgerald Durfee. Okay. Tom Morgan and Liz Durfee. Well, welcome. We appreciate you being here. Our second item on the agenda is to review and approve our minutes from our last meeting. Do I hear a motion?
I move.
I second.
And seconded. Is there any,
Nope, looked
I
good.
can't really vote, so I wasn't here. Should we, is that okay? Should we put it off?
Three of us can.
Three of us can.
Three of you.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a quorum.
Okay. So that is approved. Thank you very much. And Barbara, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we'll get into our, the rest of our agenda. And we're going to be talking about our website, logo, and social media updates from our consultants, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll turn it over to Tom or Liz.
What's the name of that website? Jim?
I haven't a clue. How about the working towards a community that's welcoming website?
No, top bar.
Oh,
Kennebunkportcp.info.
wow.
That's the
Comprehensive plan.info. All right. And this is our 2030 comprehensive plan that we're in the midst of creating.
And I like the background.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
very, very snazzy.
Old family. Way
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
Well, my thought was to switch out the background periodically.
yes.
Just to keep people's interest.
Yep.
So we're prepared to do that. We have about
Good.
19 other images in the queue.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we had quite a lengthy discussion at the last meeting about tweaking the website design, and I'd say we got about 90% of that accomplished. And the other 10%, we just ran into some technical roadblocks. We're using a WordPress template, which, you know, makes people like us into webmasters, but of course, when you gotta really squeeze it, you need somebody who does that full-time for a living, you know. So there's a little compromise there. I think it's a good compromise, though, because we got pretty much everything we were looking for.
Excellent.
We did have a conversation at the last meeting. See the word that keeps flipping around? Last meeting, we had 3 words, and you didn't like one of them. I quickly agreed with that. I was just, initially just throwing words out there just to show you the design. And then we got some feedback from a couple of committee members about a number of other words, so I added a few, but it's still, I wanted to get your take on, make sure you're good with the words, and if we left out some good ones, we'd like to hear about that too.
The site's live now, right?
Yes, it is, yeah. So you see, we're down, you can have as many words as you want or as few. We're on half a dozen right now, and that's something we can change going forward too. If you think of a great word next month, it's really easy to.
And as we get input from people,
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
generally, you're going to hear things, and
yeah.
you might feel it's appropriate to pop it in there.
Mhm.
I like it. I think that's really clever.
Jim, have you had a chance to look at the website, the rest
No.
of it? Yeah,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
scroll it down for you. Yeah, so then we have a little banner announcement, upcoming events. Tonight's the big deal, yeah.
It is for anyone named Fitzgerald. Since we have 2 of
Was
them.
it three?
So here's a little background. Early on, we were told that everything's gonna be transparent around here. We gotta throw everything up there, so that's our goal here. We got a portal to our calendar of events that will go right into the calendar, of course, and then when you get in there, you can just hover over with your mouse and you get an idea of what's coming up.
Oh, okay.
For example, tonight, this is what's coming up there. You guys like to meet on the second, fourth Tuesdays. So that's the idea of the calendar. Over here, we started off with just agendas, but we expanded into minutes, videos, and the web address. If you happen to tune in while the meeting's going on, you can watch us live. So
Okay.
you click there and it'll get you right over to that material, agendas, minutes, video, Kennebunkport TV. Project schedule, we're waiting for a group photograph and a
Oh, yeah.
spectacular
Oh, gosh.
background. So in the interim, we have silhouettes. Then there's some talk about switching up Paris to Portsmouth, Pittsburgh, I mean, and then putting a calendar there, but that's, I can take Paris out, but I can't put the calendar at that location. That's what the software does not allow.
Right, you got 6 spots.
Yeah. You did mention, there was some talk about the date. Has that been determined, which date we're?
It is. I got an email from Dan right before the meeting. Did he just send it to me? I had asked him a question. It's that second, I'll look for this. It's that second Saturday, which
Second
would be, Barbara, do you know that date?
I want to know it.
I'm gonna look
Maybe the
for,
14th?
Prob- Yep, 14, 7
All
and
right.
14, 14 is it.
okay, so Dan says, we're all set to have a table at the 5-alarm chili and dog event at the Village Fire Station. It's held on the second Saturday of Prelude, usually between 11 and 3.
Three. All right, well, that will go up on this website tomorrow morning then. Whoops, got too far out of that.
Oh, that was good.
Okay, so then we have a little placeholders here. We're looking at 21 chapters in your comprehensive plan. There's nothing there behind these pictures right now, but as the project moves along, you better click, for example, and it will take you right to the current draft of whatever that chapter says. We're not there yet, but we will be. So these are all the placeholders. Most of them are local photos. We've got a couple out-of-town photos here because we haven't had our event yet to take pictures of local events just yet. These folks are over in the city of Saco. I like how the numbers spin around. And last time you asked us to bring it back from 2100 to 2050, and that lowers the sea level rise as well. And we'll be able to punch in different themes as the project goes along. This is just, as you can see, it's talking about a child born today is going to live to see some stuff we've never seen. Or we can switch the theme as often as you like. And then Werner sent us over quite a few maps and documents that are relevant to the project. So this is where, for example, a resident could click in and find all kinds of maps that already exist that are quite relevant to where we're going. This happens to be the water basins. So because it's a website, we can really load this thing up with as many.
What does the
documents.
building permits show? That one?
Permits over time, or?
No, the one, the top
This
one.
one?
Yeah, for, by year. Oh, I see color
Yeah,
coded by.
which is down
interesting.
here, okay.
It's a lot of information that I've never seen together.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
It would
there
take me
is.
weeks to
There
find
it
this
is.
on our website.
Yeah,
We're just getting warmed up.
excellent.
It's a new toy.
It's a
These-
run
It
nice.
is.
These are just the maps
Favorite
that
new
Werner
website.
gave us.
Right.
We're gonna bring
Yeah,
a lot more
he's-
in too.
Yeah, because he has the layers,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
just,
Well, we're gonna be scouring the state of Maine too, to see what else is out there.
yeah.
A lot of developing in Goose Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Drainage
So you
plans,
got
growth
a lot
map,
of great maps
impervious
already.
Zoning map, what's your
See, I like this one, that's why I put it up there, just because I like the colors. This was done a few years ago, so that's probably, things have probably changed a little since then.
And what do we show on flood maps below? Floodplain, what sources are using there?
I imagine it's FEMA, Federal Emergency Management.
Yeah,
This
but-
is, this is the map that's gonna tell you whether you need flood insurance. or
Yeah,
not.
but what's the date on that? Is that,
I imagine it's the most
It's-
recent one that's.
Yeah, I think he's
in
using
map.
the recent ones now, so.
Yeah.
the ones that become effective shortly?
Well,
Is that
Yes,
what this
the
is?
next- The next effective maps, yeah.
Paul, you asked a very good question, and I can see what's missing from this map, and that's the date.
Mm-hmm.
So that belongs on there.
That's because there is no date yet. They
Oh.
haven't been approved yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this is in fact, let's look at Goose
Yeah.
Rocks.
Well,
Yeah, all of
we
Goose
shouldn't
Rocks
be
is
having to
flooded,
guess. We should just, see what date.
Right.
Yeah,
This
but
is
I bet
fine-
you're
This
right,
is fine for now.
Yeah.
but I bet you're right, Jim, that's why. It's supposed to be effective 1st
You
of
don't want the
January.
old ones,
Right,
that just don't make any sense anymore. But
So,
you could, look at Goose Rock, did you see the Goose Rocks
you
there?
wanna go back?
I got my
Yeah,
way.
just go back, just for a second.
Oh, you think Goose Rock's is kinda low?
Kinda? Looks like the entire Goose Rocks area is gonna be in a flood zone.
Oh,
Look at that,
Yeah.
just about.
Goodbye, house.
what's amazing is there's a few, if you look out on the east end of the beach, somehow there's sand out on the elevation of, towards Sand Point is
Yeah,
not in a flood zone, but
Yeah,
everything behind it, around it.
yeah.
it's amazing.
So I guess the challenge is figure out how to live with water, huh?
Yep,
Backstroke.
you want to see where you're going?
Snorkel.
So that's the resources section of the website. We'll be filming, as I said, we've got lots of more material to load into this section. And then we have a project blog. Liz and I have started the blog. But we're gonna figure out a way to try to engage other people in the community to have them contribute their stories as well. So you can click on the link here and it'll bring you to the rest of the blog. This one happens to be about the governor's trip to the United Nations. And
Oh,
that
yeah.
link obviously needs to be fixed, so. It should have gone to the rest of the blog. I will fix that. Then you got the team here. Two of us, you can see, you recognize we're in the room with you now. There is Cameron Wake, who'll be joining us on the 21st to talk about climate. And Jane Knott will be coming in the spring. Her specialty is groundwater, and she's doing some really innovative research showing the effect that sea level rise is going to have on the groundwater table. And I'll give you, I should probably give away the ending here, but what it means is you're going to be dealing with groundwater issues before the ocean starts
Oh, yeah.
causing a problem.
Yeah. We
Lovely.
already are on our high tides, our king tides.
Yeah, yeah.
We
She
noticed-
studied how.
How do you notice, Barbara?
Our backyard and the water level
Oh,
comes up in the yard because the tide is pushing and it comes. and the-
And what
All
Jane's
right.
discovered is the effect reaches, several miles inland from the ocean where you're not expecting it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So this is where we welcome messages, comments, questions. Got Werner's name up here now. We got our own website that leads to our own webmail account, so if we get a lot of spam, it's just gonna go there. I'm sure we will get some spam. There's
Oh, yeah.
lots out there on the internet that just go around doing that.
Absolutely.
And here is a little subscribe button if people want to be alerted via email as to upcoming events. This goes directly into a mailing program. We'll be talking about that later this evening.
Okay.
And then there's a link to, Liz, do you want to show off these links?
Yeah, actually, I'll just open them on the top so
Okay.
that they're already
Alright.
logged in,
Okay.
so you can see the inside
Alright.
view.
okay? So you can see, we're about to see Instagram and Facebook. So,
Very good.
All right, thanks, Tom. So, we had.
the mic over,
Yes. So just a quick update on the social media pages that we created primarily as a means to get information out to the public about different events and the opportunity to engage and provide feedback. We have a Facebook page. Anyone watching at home, please like the page. Kennebunkport Comprehensive Plan is the page name. Let me close this out here. This is the homepage here now, and we've got the logo up for your photo icon and some links to the website, and I put a shot of the flyer up, so we'll be putting all over the announcements up. I've been searching for some Kennebunkport related businesses and organizations to follow, so that then they'll follow the comprehensive plan page, and will attract a little bit more attention that way. And
And the town has a Facebook page, right?
Mhm.
in the town, yes. And I should be able to share events with the town's Facebook page too. So I will,
Great.
yeah, I can do that. And
I like
then,
the logo, that's cool.
there's also an Instagram page, which is really more for mobile use. If anyone uses Instagram, the handle is KPT-comp-plan or _, either one will work. So you can find that page, and this is one of the ways that we'll be able to capture some photos from folks in town and some of the info blurbs that we had talked about for the Christmas Prelude event. We've got some whiteboards ready to go, and we'll be asking folks to write a message, what they envision the future of Kennebunkport to be, or what they like about Kennebunkport, take a picture of it, and then tag it with the tagline, and then all those will be compiled in one location that anyone can search and see. So I put a couple pictures up and tagged them with what I like about Kennebunkport, and so people can start tagging those photos with that hashtag, and it'll eventually we'll get quite a few photos in one location. So, any questions about either of those interfaces? Instagram's pretty user-friendly, and Facebook also, if anyone hasn't used either before and is interested in starting to use them. That's it for the social media updates. We did revise the logo, which is on some of the flyers now. If anyone has additional comments or feedback about the logo, please feel free to send those our way.
there's a window now.
That was one comment, yes.
In this image here,
Yep.
I don't see the same trouble there, but I think the blue and the off blue are a little too close.
They're competing for,
And so
Attention.
you can't really see what that band is under Kennebunkport, the word Kennebunkport. Like, when I look at this, it looks like it's a railing or,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
it
see
almost
what
looks
you're
like a
talking about.
pendant light hanging down over the
Yeah.
word Kennebunkport.
right.
If you look at the positive space above the text.
Okay.
Yeah, looks like the top is full.
I mean, it's a beautiful image, too. It's
Yes.
really well done.
What's it
Just that
supposed
color,
to be?
maybe a little contrast in
What's that?
color there.
What's it supposed to
That band?
be? Yeah.
It's like a railing,
Yeah,
It's
it's
part of the
railing,
lighthouse.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
but when you do the small one, it fills and it looks like
Yeah,
a
I'll
floating
just,
top.
it's actually
Oh, I
just
see.
white lines, and I can make them bigger.
Yeah.
And that should solve
Good.
that problem.
Ah.
And it does look like a light, like a pendant.
Yeah,
I'm
it
seeing
does.
things.
Now it does.
Oh, yeah.
So what is the color supposed to be? Is it
It's like
supposed
a
to be?
beanie.
It's,
this, or is it
funnel.
supposed to be like that?
this is a different color than I saw on my printer and my screen.
Right,
Yeah,
of course.
I
Yeah, I
don't
think it's
dislike
the
that
color.
color, but it is a different color than what appears on the screen.
Yeah, well,
If anyone has a strong preference, I can try to tweak it, but it might always appear slightly different in
No.
print on different printers.
no.
I just can't differentiate it. I don't care what the color is
No.
particularly, I just can't differentiate it from the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
The
like
railing.
it's supposed to blur.
The railing?
The railing.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
railing,
which you
yep.
can do the railing, make it,
Perfect, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's our outreach updates. Item 4, if it's all right to move on to that item, was the
Absolutely.
Climate 101 event advertising update. So thanks, Jim, for passing out all of the announcements. This larger one-page copy was for the TV, and that has been released. You saw an image of it just tonight on the screen. There's some flyers that Werner printed out, and from what I understand, he's happy to print out as many as folks would like. We did send a press release version off to the Coast Star. Haven't heard that it's been actually
How
published
about
yet.
the Post, Kennebunkport, or the Kennebunk Post? That's our
Kennebunk-
weekly newspaper.
freebie.
The Coast Star is a.
Sure, we could do that too.
Well, it
Yeah,
comes
the
out
Coast Star
Thursday and
is
then
more
it's
of
too
Too
a-
late.
late.
A
Too
pay
late, okay.
newspaper,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
but the Kennebunkport Post goes to every house.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
for
is
future.
great to know, and
Yeah.
we will keep that in mind for next time. I think that's it on the Climate 101 event. Do you have any announcements?
Yeah, Paul, you sent us along an email on October 23rd, which I thought was going to be very helpful, and it still will be. We were talking about communicating with folks via email, not just a regular email, but, one of these
Blasts or
blasts,
group.
yeah, they call them blasts, yeah, they, graphics, they're, but at this point in our project, we don't have many contacts in town, we don't have many email addresses. So we were talking about maybe partnering with various civic groups in town and see if they would help us publicize the event.
Sure.
So maybe we could talk about that for a couple minutes.
Yeah, so it's been sent to, and published by the KRA, Kennebunkport Residents Association.
David James.
David James, he put
James.
it in, thank you, David. And it was put in today by the trust. So those are two very large
Yep.
The
mailing
Conservation
lists.
Trust?
The
It's our
Kennebunkport
housing
Conservation
trust.
Trust.
Okay.
No, the Conservation Trust, not the
Oh,
Housing Trust.
Conservation Trust.
Yeah, they
Well,
did
get
it.
under the Housing Trust too, what the heck?
Okay, and
Right.
Paul, was that the e-blast that I had forwarded to you guys last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good.
I think the trust put in this flyer without a press release. I'd given them both, and, I didn't know what they were going to use.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
David James,
You know what, though, there's a couple other organizations like the Chamber, we are members of the Chamber, so we can put it right in there. And
so do you belong to the chamber?
no, the town does.
Oh, so someone needs to get it to them quickly.
Yeah, and, yeah, you can just send it to Laurie
Laura
over at the
Dolce.
Chamber.
I've had the
Yeah.
Mary
Laurie
Lou
Smith, are you talking
Bukovala,
about?
Laurie,
Laura Dulce.
Dulce.
Dolce.
Dolce.
Does anyone have her
Dolce.
email so they can?
She town employee?
No, she's a chamber.
Chamber.
Chamber Director.
Okay, we could probably find it.
You can easily
I
find
thought
it.
the
just by-
library might be a good one, too.
Well, I've already talked to Mary Lou, and we've rescheduled a few events so that people will be free to come to this. And she has this flyer, and she's posting it on the weekly newsletter.
Excellent.
That goes out to many, many people, so we're covering that
Good.
group.
So is this room gonna be big enough?
Yeah, it'll be big.
Yes.
Hope so.
Yes, yes.
It's a wonderful
But
problem
it
to
could
have.
interest people other than Kennebunkport, too, so that would be,
The topic, right.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I put the flyers around, but just in town, not out of
Right.
town.
Thank you.
And in your email, Paul, you talked about some other groups, the Sierra Club, Kennebunkport Climate Action,
Yeah, that's a good idea. I don't,
Portside Rotary Club,
I'm not a Rotarian anymore, so,
Friends
but
of
I know,
Goose Rocks
I know
Beach.
people that are.
I'm doing the Friends of Goose Rocks Beach.
Okay.
I'll do that
all right,
tomorrow.
okay. Any other lists where we might have missed?
Let's see.
Uh,
I think you're gonna hit quite a few of those.
Newcomers?
Who?
Newcomers? That,
I don't think they, I don't.
I'm not a member,
maybe
so I
the-
don't know what
Maybe the center. The center is like the old senior center.
in
now
Kennebunk,
it's-
right.
It's in Kennebunk, but it's for Kennebunk and Kennebunkport.
I know someone who's, I think, on the committee, the executive committee of Newcomers. I'll ask.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, sounds like the word's
So-
getting.
Well, you'll hit all of us like 6 times. It's a very small community.
Yeah. But there'll be a tremendous overlap.
That's okay, though.
Yeah.
Sorry. As Paul said, it's a big problem to have, when people show up.
Yeah.
When I do that in Portsmouth and have that problem, I'm always so afraid the
We
fire
can-
chief is gonna come in
Long
and yell
long
at us.
as we don't call it a charrette,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we ignore the sign.
Okay, any other comments or suggestions in terms of advertising the event? If not, you ready to move on to number 5?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, so, we sent out some draft questions. Welcome, for the Prelude tabling event. So we had talked about having, like a half-page handout for people to collect when they stop by the table. Tom and I and any committee members who are interested are welcome to table the event. We'll send out a schedule that people could sign up for, half an hour,
Great.
the whole time, whatever you're interested in. So we'll have the half-page handout. We'll have the dry erase boards for the photo messaging. And then we're also planning on putting together a couple posters with probably 4 different sticky dot poll questions. And the draft questions that we have prepared are on this handout that I believe you just received a copy of today. So Tom and I were hoping to get some feedback from you on the questions and narrow down the list of, or 7 to maybe your 4 favorite questions.
Can we do the same survey, using SurveyMonkey at the same time? Like maybe all 7 questions, using, afterwards, say, in case you missed us at the firehouse, here's your chance to,
Sure. You wanna do that? Yeah, we can do that, sure.
it would be another point of contact with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Could that go through the website, so if people have missed the
Yeah.
event?
But you'd have to push it to people through Facebook and
Yeah, right.
We can do that too.
Instagram and,
Yeah.
the mailing list, the town's mailing
Right.
list.
A reminder that they can participate.
Well, they wouldn't even know about it
Yeah,
unless you happen to
please
come to
visit
the lunch
in order
that
to-
day.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you're looking for the top 4 to,
I like the more of question.
the last one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we've ever asked that before, anyway.
I would,
Yeah, I like that one.
I would initially leave off housing because we've been housing to death
Mhm.
in the past year or two.
Yep.
And have been discussing housing a lot. Transportation, I mean, I'm just thinking back to our survey in the community survey that was done. I'm just thinking of the top things there. Natural resources came very high.
I would say natural resources should be one.
Very high.
Transportation, I think, was less high.
Yep.
Connection, I think, is important just
It
to
is.
correlate.
To know who's taking the survey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Two.
What do they know about a comprehensive plan? Which most will be nothing, I would
Right.
expect, but who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe I'll be
Okay.
surprised.
We're up to
On the climate change one, I might add the same one you have on natural resources, continued viability of fishing industry,
Sure.
because there's certainly a lot being spoken about in terms of
Too much, yeah.
how
A lot of concern.
acidity levels and what's happening to lobsters, how soon is it going to happen?
So we're keeping 1, 4, and 7.
1,
6.
6 and 7.
6 and
Six and
7, okay, got it.
4,
6 and 7,
6
okay.
and 7, and if you felt like doing another, I'd throw in 5, because I'm not, I don't think it's as important. If you don't have space, I mean, we're there to educate people about the comprehensive plan, so if they stop and listen, you're going to get a sense, we're going to get a sense of whether they have any clue as to what the comprehensive plan is.
Exactly. Yep.
We're going to gain.
Okay, so you should go with 5, right?
Good space. Yep. Yeah. Any topics missing that you're interested in? This is really just a preliminary screening
Right.
and a way to engage people that are coming over to the table.
So how are you planning on doing this?
So that's a great question. Segue to the screen behind you. So,
okay.
this is just a draft of what one of the poster boards might look like. We're going to try to fit 2 questions on each poster board, which is why we're targeting 4 questions, so there's not a row of posters. And what we'll do is have a bunch of sticky dots available and hand 4 sticky dots out to each person so they can place 1 dot in the box with their response to each question. So I just threw up, what is your top concern related to housing? And then below the question are the options, short-term rentals, affordability. And we'll ask each person to just pick 1 answer, even though most people will have multiple responses that they'll want to choose. And then this is a general idea of what it'll look like after people fill it out. So we'll get to see the diversity of responses and the number, and also the people that stop by throughout the day. We'll be able to see how other people are responding too. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's much better than handing out a survey and asking people to fill it out.
Yeah, it's a little more
Oh,
interactive and
It
it's
is.
I
pretty
hate doing that.
Right.
pretty user-friendly.
Yeah.
We're hoping people don't want to stand in front of a survey.
Right.
Yeah.
There's
For a
no
long
value
time.
attributed to the
Good.
color code. There's no
Yeah.
color
No
code.
Yeah.
color,
Worked good.
no color value, no.
That's good.
Yeah,
And then you'll correlate that to
yeah. To their
something.
responses.
Overwhelmingly green in this.
Yeah.
White.
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 You notice all the answers in white.
So do you think, do you feel comfortable selecting the questions tonight? I know that not everyone's here tonight. Do you want us to send the draft options out to everyone with the choices that the group has chosen, or?
You snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose.
That's
Okay. I like that
Precisely
policy.
what I was gonna say.
Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Nice tonight.
Okay.
It'd be nice to share it with everybody, of
Yes,
course. And
yes.
if someone has a
Okay.
strong objection.
Well, this time we'll share.
I'm just going to look quickly through the responses just to see if anything else jumps out. Do we need farmland as a choice? Since we really don't have,
We don't have a lot.
we have one farm, 5 acres by Goose Rocks. We have Black Rock,
Yeah.
but that's more of a nursery than a
Right.
farm.
Oh, we have animals, horses, chickens.
Well, what you do have is you have soils that are suitable for agriculture. And that's kind of an important thing to know
Some.
about overall.
Yeah.
Farming is-
There are no soils suitable for farming in Kennebunkport. I hate to tell you that. It's terrible.
Rock and wet.
I was gonna say, if you like rocks, this is a great
Amend,
place.
amend.
Yeah, no organic matter and sandy, and my wife's been looking for farmland for 10 years and looks
Yeah.
at every single soil sample, and,
David first
This
went
is
to
like
the
the-
Midwest back.
yeah.
It's like the end of a glacier dump, just
Yeah, no, that's it.
scraped everything off and.
Hay grows pretty well.
All right.
Um,
So loss of farmland is not really, open space, I think, is,
Yeah, plenty of open space.
do you want to swap it for something related to beaches?
a good thought.
Yeah.
We say water quality or pollution, that's important. Say access to beaches or access to,
Sure.
what do you think, Jim? You gave a,
I don't think
How
the
about
beaches.
public access to water? I know that it
That's
keeps
more
coming
Yeah,
up
like
that
we don't
people want to
have-
keep
we
building
don't have a
docks
boat
because
ramp.
we don't have a public boat ramp.
right, which has been in the comp plan for public access.
Yes, for the last
Right.
50 years.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that might be
But
a
why don't
good
we,
one.
yeah, I would do, rather than
Or-
beaches.
Water
because it's-
Or is that just natural resources? Is that,
I think we're
Just
wise to
access
leave
to
the
natural
beaches
resources.
alone.
Yeah, and it would include
Right,
that.
after-
That's access to water.
Right.
Whether you're gonna
Okay.
go out in a boat, or you're gonna go,
Okay.
try to go swimming, or
So
sit on the
we do-
beach, or,
Water access.
Water access instead of farmland?
Yeah.
Okay.
or access to.
Access to or water
Yeah.
access, whatever.
Okay.
No, I don't have any other comments.
No.
that looks good.
One other item I wanted to ask about that I was thinking about while all these flyer versions were being sent around is what is the best way to get information to all of you? Should we email you directly? Should we email Werner and Hill email you? Should we ask
Direct,
Werner
yes.
that
Direct.
question? Okay. So once we have the half-page summary prepared, we could send a copy out for your review before we go through with
Sure.
printing.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
And we'll assume if we don't hear back within a couple days that that means that's a thumbs up?
Yep.
Okay. Great. All right, I think we are. Yeah.
Calendar, we're heading into the holiday season,
Yes.
so I know you aspire to 2 meetings a month.
Mhm.
And I wonder if you want to stick to that schedule or not.
Can you go to the,
You have it?
Or a calendar.
the calendar or the flow chart,
Yeah.
or whatever you call the project chart?
Oh, the project chart. I can.
26th, the 10th. I'm not fond of the 24th.
December.
Yeah.
I didn't think.
I love the 24th.
All right, then you
Yeah,
could, you could be.
Not
there,
to me.
Jan.
As a day.
Or the 31st, for that matter.
How do we get to it?
Forget we came up with 2030. I'm always talking about,
Okay, so our next one will be the 26th of November. Is that an issue with anybody?
The 26th?
26th of November,
I'm fine.
that would be 2 weeks.
Right before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, it's fine with me.
And the 10th,
I was just looking at this to see what our goals were.
and the 10th of December,
Mhm.
yeah. And then we're stymied,
Right,
because the 24th and 31st are both Tuesdays.
right. So we're not going to meet again in December, it would seem.
Okay.
Well, let's go ahead and pick a January.
But Liz and I will continue to plug away whether we meet.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll see you at the event.
January would be the
At
7th
Prelude
and
on the
21st,
14th.
Jim.
Yes.
The 2nd or the 20,
The 7th and the 20th.
oh, 7th.
7th and the 21st.
What are you in
the
January?
2nd, Yeah,
Okay.
So 7 January and 24th,
21st.
1st. 7 and 4, yes, that's right.
Yes, it's
All right, 26 November, 10 December, 7 January, and 21 January.
Yep.
All right. We can-
January, we were on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday.
Yeah.
January, you're jumping on the 1st and 3rd, it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, we are, yes.
Right,
So
because-
You're absolutely right.
14th.
our calendars had the
20th.
other date
Yes.
on it. And
14
Yes.
and 28?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, so in terms of December 24th, we get the night off,
I guess.
Yes. Well, actually, you can come, but the rest of us won't be here. Let us know ahead of time if you want it to be on TV.
It's the same here.
And then we'll assume February, et cetera, we just continue with the same,
yeah, we'll be past all those holiday distractions.
right.
Just snow days. Okay.
So our schedule in the meantime is to work on wrapping up the baseline review, short report that we're putting together with sort of our preliminary assessment of some of the existing resources that Werner has shared with us and your current comp plan. So that's something that we'd like to get a draft out to you before the end of the year. And then we'll be diving into chapters in December as well.
And when were we supposed to start on chapters according to the schedule?
December.
December.
Yeah.
So
The
I,
first two aren't terribly.
just as a helpful thing, assuming we get a little bit of following, that if we're going to, it would be at least my strong preference, if we're going to review something that we posted on the website, like at least a day ahead of time. So we have a chance to review it, as well as anyone who might be coming to the meeting or send in a question, or
Our practice is to post everything at least a week in advance.
that would be great. That would be great. That is very helpful to a board.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else that we need to discuss today? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move, we adjourn.
I hear a second.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Sorry we couldn't
are
keep you longer.
adjourned
Thanks.
At 7:45. Nice, efficient, quick meeting.